Welcome back to JB Reviews. Today we're going to do a video on dually, long bed, short bed, Mega Cab, Crew Cab. I think I said that right. If I didn't, I'll have to edit it out. But guys, this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and it's really hard to find a dealer to have both of these trucks, because I was going to just do one and then do another, just kind of compare them, but this is better. They're both here. I have a Crew Cab long bed dually and a Mega Cab dually. Now, in the comment section, which one looks better? Now, one of my followers, Big D Productions, he's gonna definitely say this truck here. But I love that short bed dually. That thing looks like a freaking animal. Check it out. So I really want to compare the cabs, obviously show you the differences, but I really want to talk about something else I've been wanting to do, which is why Ram HD trucks are the best all-around towing trucks of all time. There's things that they do that Chevy and Ford don't, and it's time to talk about that, because I may not be a Ram fanboy, but I might sound like one today. Let's get started. All right, so taking a look at the window sticker for the Mega Cab, $55,200 is the base price, and base price for this truck is going to be $53,900 for the Crew Cab. Keep in mind, if you are looking at dualies, you have to add an additional $14.95 to those prices. Now, down below, this is going to be your optional equipment. So this truck has a lot of options on it. I'm not going to go through all these, but just take a look at them. This does have Laramie Level 2, does have the high output, 410 axle, and then that's the total price at $82,310. Here's your Crew Cab. So this one has somewhat of the same options. It does not have sport appearance, but it does have the body color bumper group. So front and rear bumpers are going to be painted. And as you guys can see here, this has the Laramie Level 1 as opposed to Laramie Level 2. Has a high output with the 410. Now this one does have air suspension, so that's the only difference between the trucks. And this is going to be the MSRP for the Crew Cab. Let's go ahead and take a look at the outside. That way you guys have a good idea. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, I did not bring a tape measure, and a tape measure would have been really nice today. Only the reason why I didn't bring it, I'm going to make an excuse here, is because I was rushing to get here because I'm on a time restraint. But nevertheless, let's take a look at these trucks. When you're taking a look at the Mega Cab and Crew Cab, the very first thing you can clearly see is that this C-pillar is huge. And this is really the main reason why the Mega Cab is so different from the Crew Cab. And this is going to give you more interior space out back, specifically behind the seat, and that you add reclining seats out back too. Now, if you're taking a look at the Crew Cab, this C-pillar is way smaller. I mean, it's basically not much space inside the back of this truck. Now, if you're not familiar, in 2009 they did a redesign, but they did keep the cabs and the beds the same. But as far as the front end goes, it's been redone. The taillights and the tailgates have been redone too. But essentially, you can clearly see that that truck has more interior space just from looking from the outside. I mean, you can see how big that C-pillar is compared to both of them there. So the other thing you can clearly see is that you have a larger bed. You have an 8-foot bed versus a 6'4" bed. One thing I want to say too is this: if you are looking at a Mega Cab dually, you may want to skip the fifth wheel prep package, because I use a Reese goose box, which basically turns my fifth wheel into a gooseneck, and I'm not able to use an offset ball, because if I were to get one, if they were to build one, it would spin around inside of my puck system. But if you get the truck without this, you can get the B&W turnover ball. You can get a 3 or 4 inch offset ball, and that way it can give you the clearance that you would need to make a 90-degree turn. So that is one benefit if you do want a Mega Cab dually. Now, obviously, if you're wanting to park this truck in the garage, this truck is going to fit a lot easier versus this one. You're going to probably need a 25-foot garage to get this thing in there. This truck should be able to fit in a 22, 23-foot garage. I would say 23-foot minimum. But yeah, this truck is definitely better looking in my opinion. It's a little bit shorter, but this truck is more geared towards towing only because you have a bigger bed. You're going to easily make a 90-degree turn. You don't have to have any special hitch or anything like that. Now, if you do pick this truck and you already have the fifth wheel prep package, you're just going to have to get a slider hitched. Now, one other benefit on this truck too is that when it comes down to adding things to the bed, because there's so much space, and this is really where most of your space is, and the bed is up here. So you can clearly see your puck system, it starts here. You can clearly see you probably have about, what, 3 feet of space, and you can still have your fifth wheel back here, versus this truck. You can clearly see that you're down because your space is probably, what, maybe a foot, maybe 14 inches from your puck system. So you're not going to be able to store as much in the bed. As far as the front interior goes, you're not going to see any differences on these trucks. But if you're interested in seeing what it looks like inside, there you go. This is going to be the Mega Cab. Now when you look out back, this is where you're going to see most of the differences. I'm going to move these really quickly. Hold on one second. Now this seat is all the way back. Let me just check one more time, make sure. Let's see. So that seat is all the way back. Now getting in and out, now this truck does have the power running boards. This is an option on the Laramie. Now as far as interior space goes, I believe you have more legroom inside of this truck. I'll put it in the video here too. That way you have a good idea what you're looking at. I don't want to lie to you. And as I mentioned, you can recline these seats. So you use this lever here to recline. I'm just going to put it in recline position. And then that's pretty much how far back that seat's going to go. Now, if you want, let's just say you need to put something inside the truck. You can drop the seat down to this position. Now if you put it in this position, you do have space under the seat to store things. Love that. You have space back here. You also have places to store things inside of here, and I believe there's one on the other side too. There's 2 storages behind the seats. You have hooks back here. You have your anchors for your child seats. Now when it comes down to it, when you go to put the seat up, it will go back in its current position. So in order for it to go back up, you pull this lever and it goes back into its normal position. Now if you pull this lever below, you can drop the seat all the way down. Now keep in mind, if you remembered, you could store things under the seat, but if you pull this lever, you can't put anything under the seat. This thing will literally crush it. Been there, done that. Now check out all of that space you have back here. This is a lot of space. I literally could lay down inside of this truck. I could sleep in the back of a Mega Cab easily. And just taking a look at your center console back here, you do have 2 cup holders, you have your air vents, you have your USBs, and you have a power outlet. This may look a little different inside the crew cab. I haven't seen a crew cab in a while, so we'll see. But I'm gonna show you one last thing, just to give you a comparison of these seats. Before I do that, you can kind of see there's not a lot of storage on this side, but you can probably store bags behind there. But if you do put the seat on this side in this position, you can see the difference in how they look. Inside of the crew cab, I can confirm with you now, you have more legroom. I don't even have to show you the numbers. I'm probably already going to do that for you, but you have more space in the Mega Cab in terms of your legroom. Now, one benefit of this truck is they do give you bigger storage compartments on the floor, and these little trays do come out, so you can clean them out. I think some people put ice in them if they're going out to the beach or something like that. Now, these seats do not recline, but they do flip up. You have a 60/40 just like you had inside of the Mega Cab. And with the seats in this position, you don't have as much usable floor. Now, one benefit is you can flip this up like so. And then that way you can have a flat floor surface. And in this case here, you can sleep back here. Now, let's just be honest. This is one person sleeping back here. And here's just a better look at that floor surface there. But ultimately, like I said, it's not a lot of space inside of the crew cab. They do give you these storage bins on the floor. And like I said, you could store some stuff under these seats, but it's not a lot. This is below the rear passenger side behind the driver's seat. On the other side, there's a subwoofer there. And they still use the same center console. I might have been thinking about a 6-passenger, but yeah, they use the exact same console on each truck, so that does not change. Man, guys, check that out. They just got this truck in. That might be a special order, but that is the nicest green on the 3500. I mean, I would love to see more trucks in that color. Let me see if I can zoom in really quickly. It's gonna take forever, but there it is. That is a really nice color. Someone needs to order this truck and let me do a review on it. All right, so here's the kicker that you guys have been waiting for. If you've been loyal to my channel, you know what I'm gonna do next. Now, we gotta compare the capacity. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go online. I'm gonna show you the towing capacity for each truck. But then I'm gonna show you guys the actual payload number for these 2 trucks here. So let's go ahead and do that first. All right, so I know this is gonna be kind of confusing, but stick with me here. This is a number for the long bed. Ooh. And then this is a number for the Mega Cab. So 33,070 versus 33,810 pounds. One thing you want to consider, if you're not doing a lot of climbing, I would strongly look at the 373 axle for either one of these trucks. You don't necessarily need a 410 if you're not doing a lot of climbing, a lot of grades, whatever you want to call it. But the towing capacity doesn't drop that much. Now, don't pay any mind to these numbers. I'm going to show you the actual payload, so let's get back to the video. Now, as you guys saw on the window sticker, these 2 trucks do have the high output motor. That's going to give them the eyes and transmission. So these trucks are pretty identical. This truck does have quite a few options more than this Laramie does. But this Laramie does have air suspension. The air suspension is going to add more weight to this truck. So these trucks should be pretty similar in terms of overall weight. So we are going to weigh them both together. So let's go ahead and see what the payload is for the Mega Cab. Actually, no, let's do this truck first. Let's see how much payload that the Crew Cab's gonna have versus the Mega Cab. All right, so the very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take a look at the gross axles. The front's gonna be 6,000 pounds. The rear's gonna be 9,750. Gross vehicle weight's gonna be 14,000 pounds for this truck. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take 14,000 pounds. I'm gonna get my handy dandy calculator. So we're gonna take 14,000 pounds. And your payload on this truck is gonna be 5,339 pounds. So let's just subtract that. So 5,339. This truck from the factory is gonna weigh 8,661 pounds. So let's just keep note of this number, 8,661. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the numbers for this Mega Cab dually. Now these trucks are going to have the same number, so 14,000 pound GVWR, and gross axles stay the same. So we're going to take 14,000 again, and we're going to subtract it from 5,205 pounds. So these trucks are pretty close in overall weight. So what was that, 87? It was 87.95. So 87.95 minus 86.61 is going to give you 134 pounds in difference. So the Mega Cab definitely does add more weight because, like I mentioned, even though this truck does have more options on it, that air suspension is going to give it more weight. So just keep that in mind. But hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Be sure to stay tuned for why I think Ram has the best HD trucks of all time. I'm going to do a part 2 of this video, and some of the things you saw today is why I believe that, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth of that too. So this is a good opportunity to subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.